When we choose to do rhetorical criticism, it stems from an interest in something. In this example, my interest is in why President Kennedy's "We Choose the Moon" speech had such an impact on society. The artifact above is of President John F. Kennedy's "We Choose the Moon" speech, which he gave on September 12th, 1962, inside Rice Stadium. The intention of President Kennedy's speech was to persuade Americans to support the Apollo program. During his speech, he passionately quotes, "We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard." The rhetorical method I will be using to code this artifact will be to propose research questions about the rhetor audience, situation, and message. The research questions are as follows. How do I relate to the American people that I need their support with the Apollo program? How does the push for putting a man on the moon affect how audiences perceive the liability that's involved? How has the competitive nature of the space race pushed the boundaries of what it takes to be the President of the United States? What effective process can be done for Americans to respect the person leading their country? The then Soviet Union was a space race competitor to the United States, in which Kennedy knew he had to put efforts in place to win. Kennedy knew he had to gain the entire country's support with the Apollo program. To gain their trust, he represented his "We Choose the Moon" speech, where everyone was moved by the idea of an actual human setting foot on the moon. The push for putting a man on the moon affected how American people perceived the liability greatly. This outrageous task seemed extremely unrealistic, and oftentimes people were angry and questioned why their tax dollars were being put towards such a silly idea. The competitive nature of the space race pushed the boundaries of what it takes to be the President of the United States greater than ever before. These boundaries were pushed because no president had allocated such strategic efforts to put a man on the moon before Kennedy. Because of this, he had to develop an effective process so that the American people would respect him as a leader. Coding President Kennedy's "We Chose the Moon" speech is a challenge in its own, considering many of us weren't alive during this time. However, key portions of analyzing this speech are often found to be left out. Understanding the liability involved, the support that was needed, the competitive nature, and the respect gained from Kennedy's speech were all vital components to his Apollo program. Thank you.